Stepan Partamyan, a paid contractor of the Hayastan All-Armenian Fund.
Իսկ եթե մենք այսօր Լոս Անջելեսի մեջ նստած եւ մեծ խոսում ենք, նրանք ուդում են, իրականչուր դարի մի ոմն մեջտեղ գուքայով այդպես կարող դա հայդվի։ Խնդրեմ, փաստերն ներկայացուցեք։
Have you read my white paper that I wrote?
Must. I'm not a good reader, I'm a good talker.
Anyone who is not willing to take the time to educate oneself on all sides of an issue cannot be a reliable source of information. But for those who would like to have a well-rounded picture of Hayastan All-Armenian Fund should learn about both the fund side and the fact-filled white paper to donate or not to donate. Sarkis Kotanjan, Executive Director of Hayastan All-Armenian Fund, Western U.S. Region.
Բաներ են խոսում, որոնք ոչ են համապատասխանում իրականությանը։ Օրինակի համար, որ իբր թե Հայաստան համայնքական հիմնադրամը դա կառավարական հիմնադրամ է եւ կառավարվում է Հայաստանի Հանրապետության ղեկավարության կողմից։ Դա այդպես չէ։ Մենք հասարակական կազմակերպություն ենք, բարեգործական, ոչ կառավարական, թեև մեր հոգաբարձուների խորհրդի մեջ ընդգրկված են պետության ներկայացուցիչները թե Հայաստանի եւ թե Ղարաբաղի։ Բայց ասեմ, որ նրանք գտնվում են փոքրամասնության մեջ։ Ընդհանուր առմամբ կա 38 հոգաբարձու, որից ընդամենը 13-ն են, որ ներկայացնում են պետությունը։
The number of government representatives, 13, is not accurate. Mr. Kotanjan has omitted world-renowned singer Charles Aznavour, ambassador of Armenia to Switzerland. When speaking about the balance of power, Mr. Kotanjan didn't mention the existence of such a superstructure within the Board of Trustees where the overwhelming majority are state figures. Serge Sarkisyan, self-proclaimed President of the Republic of Armenia, President of the Board of Trustees of the Fund. Gagi Karuchunyan, Head of the Constitutional Court of the Republic of Armenia, Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees. Arkady Ghukasyan, Special Envoy of the President of Armenia, Vice Chairman of the Board of Trustees. Hovig Abrahamyan, Speaker of the National Assembly of the Republic of Armenia. Dikran Sarkisyan, Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia. Bako Sahagyan, President of Nagorno-Karabakh Republic. Edvard Nalbandyan, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Armenia. His Holiness Gadakin II, Catholicus of some Armenians. Hraid Hovnanyan, Armenian Assembly of America. Pedros Terzian, France. Albert Boyadjan, USA. Samvel Garabedyan, Russia.
Եվս մի առասպել կա, որ Հայաստան համայնքական հիմնադրամի գումարները երբ որ հավաքվում են, նրանք անցնում են պետության ձեռքը, կառավարության ձեռքը։ Դա եւս այդպես չէ։ Սա թյուրիմացություն է։ Որևէ մի դոլար, մի սենտ, մի դրամ, մի յուրո երբեք չի հայտնվում որևէ մի պետական կառավարական հաշիվների վրա։
Garin K. Hovanesyan, author, journalist, and historian, answers allegations made by Hayastan All-Armenia Fund executives, September 20th, 2011, California State University, Northridge. In a recently published report on the Hayastan All-Armenia Fund titled To Donate or Not Donate, I reference your book, Family of Shadows. Particularly, I have quoted you as saying on page 195, 196 of your book the following. His first problem was that though the winter of Armenia's political transformation, the diaspora confidence in the Republic had frozen, and along with the confidence, millions of dollars in international bank accounts of the All-Armenia Fund. It was Rafi's first goal and immediate success to effect a national defrosting and to secure major fundraisers in the diaspora. These fundraisers had not yet taken place, however, as you had mentioned a little while ago, the Soviet symptoms reappeared. This time the requests for wire transfers, 50,000 to this account, 100,000 to the other account, were coming from the presidential office. This time there was no higher authority to which he could appeal. Rafi began to fear that some sinister financial scandal was being planned for him. And still, Armenu, he said, hang in there and work. But now Rafi had changed. His response astonished Armenu. Guzes koheru het ashchadink, he said. Do you want us to work with thieves? At your book signing at the event of Barnes & Noble's exactly a year ago, you told journalists you did research as a journalist, as a historian, and everything in the book was a reality. However, recently, Ara Vartanyan, executive director of the Hayastan All-Armenian Fund, responded to the above-mentioned quote in the white paper, saying that it was all wrong. What is your answer to this allegation today?
I will say very firmly that I strongly believe in everything that I write, and that as a journalist, I cannot bring myself to write anything that I even suspect to be dishonest.
The main purpose of this year's telethon, of course, is going to be to raise funds to provide the people of Nagorno-Karabakh, Artsakh, with drinking water. Drinking water is a serious problem in Artsakh.
Albert Arushanyan.
Եվ առաջը ոնց էր գալիս?
Շատ լավ, շատ լավ։ Հիմա այսօրվա վրա դուր գոհ ենք, շատ գոհ ենք։
Whatever statistics we have is that 40% of daily lives are dedicated to hauling water from the source of water.
Ընդհանրապես ջրելը ինչպես է եղել վիճակը եւ ինչպես է հիմա վիճակը ընդհանուր քաղաքի ոնց կնկարագրեք։
Հիմա արդեն վիճակը շատ նորմալացել է։
And from results of the last year, the funds, we were able to provide close to 27,000 people with everyday drinking water, which is 24/7, 7 days a week.
Եվ տալիս են եւ առավոտը եւ իրիկունը,
which is 24/7.
որ համառավոտն են տալի համիրիկունը, եւ շատ նորմալ է այսօրվա վիճակը։
Առաջը ոնց է եղել։
Առաջ
Քիչ է եղել։
քիչ է եղել եւ օրը մի անգամ։ Այսինքն մի ամիս տալիս էին իրիկունը, նորից մի ամիս առավոտները։ Մաց կան եւ 2 ժամ են տալի եւ
Մինոր տվել է, մինոր չէ, մինոր տվել է, մինոր չէ։ Հիմիկ նորմալ է։
նորմալ է։
Which is 24/7.
Հիմա նորմալ է։
Tax deduction or evasion. A former top executive of Hayastan All-Armenian Fund described back in 2011 how some of the biggest donations are made. Someone pledges $700,000 to Karabakh, then in reality he sends $350,000. After that he forces the fund to give the money back. Despite such an outcome of the original pledge, the donor's name finds its honorable place in the so-called Golden Book at the end of the given year's annual report. The donor is honored for his or her contribution to the fund's objective of creating the myth of receiving big donations, which equates to big trust. I personally know people who told me details about their involvement in such a shady transaction. They were a group of Armenian-American investors from California who cut a deal with Hayastan All-Armenian Fund to minimize their tax liability to the U.S. government. The investors were planning to build a hotel in Artsakh. Given the frail economic condition of the unrecognized republic, this was a risky venture. They realized the deal as follows. The investors donated a large amount of money to the Hayastan All-Armenian Fund in the U.S. and took the money back in Artsakh. They left a certain percentage to the fund, which amounted to much less than what they would have to pay the U.S. government as income tax. Such schemes reveal the ugly side of Hayastan All-Armenian Fund, undermining quite a few of the fund's assurances. Hayastan All-Armenian Fund collects a lot less than they announce. It is a lie that all donated funds are spent on the projects advertised. The Golden Book of major donors needs major revision. Armenia is 22 years old and no longer needs a baby walker. In the early years of Armenia's independence, given the Artsakh Liberation War, the blockade, the energy crisis, and the collapse of the Soviet economic infrastructure, it would be very hard for Armenia to get by without humanitarian aid and the financial assistance of the diaspora Armenians. But today, Armenia is 22 years old and no longer needs a baby walker. The Republic of Armenia has the potential to sustain itself without the help of donations and remittances. The potential arises chiefly in efficient tax administration. The failure to carry out proper regulation of the sphere has been strengthening the country's shadow economy instead. In the 20 years of its existence, from 1992 to 2012, Hayastan All-Armenia Fund has collected a total of about $250 million. At present, the Armenian government is capable of generating 3 times that amount in a single year. According to Corruption in Armenia, the 2013 State of the Nation report by the Policy Forum Armenia, the total budgetary loss in Armenia amounts to $750 million per year. These losses include undercollection of taxes and procurement-related losses. The failure to eradicate these losses is due to deeply corrupt governance and leniency towards widespread tax evasion among the country's largest companies owned by oligarchs. What do you wish for Armenia? $250 million in 20 years or $750 million in 1 year? Anyone who truly wants to help Armenia sustain itself will invest his or her time, energy, and resources in the efforts to topple the ruling regime of Serge Sargsyan, the usurper of Armenia's presidential seat and the commander-in-chief of Hayastan All-Armenian Fund.